Alright, hi, I'm Misse Thomas, and I'm here for CNY Live, and we're here to talk about Rock for Recovery coming up in March.
Hi, my name is Evan. I'm in the band Late Earth.
And I'm Jess Sheldon, and I sing in the band The Lightkeepers.
And I'm Ashley Forshee. I serve as the Director of Development for Helio Health. We're a nonprofit that helps people who are overcoming substance use and mental health disorders. We're really excited to be launching our second annual Rock for Recovery event. All of the proceeds from the event go to the Helio Health Foundation, and we're so excited to see the community come together and really rally around this cause.
Right, so Evan and Jess are both donating their time and playing for the charity, as well as do we have other vendors and other things coming out?
So we have 4 bands that are playing our show here in Syracuse. Jess and the Lightkeepers are headlining. We're so excited to have them on board. Late Earth is joining us actually for all 3 shows, which we are completely stoked about. So in addition to the show in Syracuse, we have shows in Rochester and Binghamton as well. Then Medoffery is playing in Syracuse, and Periodic Table of Elephants is also driving down from Rochester to join us.
They're awesome. They're really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a new band. Love all you guys, but it'll be also really cool to see a different band come in and perform.
Me too.
And Medoffery, obviously, because they're wonderful.
They're wonderful.
They're super cool, which is a big.
So Evan, you played last year too.
Yep.
So why is it important to you to be part of this event?
Rock for Recovery, one, is a great way to just play music to the community, but what Helio Health does is kind of near and dear to me. I've had some friends that have been deeply affected by substance abuse, and I just like to give my effort to things that kind of help people find their way out of trouble situations like that. So that's why.
Jess, everyone's excited to have Lightkeepers here.
We're psyched. Yeah. I actually wanted to participate last year and was unable to do so. Our schedule just wouldn't allow for it, so I'm really excited to be here this year. Like you said, it's near and dear to me, and I see it. I see substance use coming closer and closer, and the circle getting smaller and smaller. And it's important to me, to help get rid of the stigma that, people who are drug users are junkies and, they're, bad people. I think I've seen it touch every single person in my life in some way, shape, or form. And I think it's important that we downgrade that stigma. If we can wipe it clean, that'd be great. I think it's gonna, I think it's a great event, and I hope that we can get people from all walks of life to, be aware, at the very least, raise awareness.
Right.
Well, I think it's so important, like you mentioned, Jess, everybody knows somebody. 1 in 4 people will be impacted by a mental health disorder, 1 in 12 by a substance use disorder. 90% of people who need help for a substance use disorder won't ever receive it at a specialty facility. It means that only 10% of people who actually need help get it. That number is staggering. So having an event like this where we're able to raise awareness, we're able to reach out and connect with new people in our community, I just think is so, so important. And really we couldn't do it without you guys and the bands. And I'm always overwhelmed and so grateful to see members of the community come together willing to donate their time and their talents, whether it's a photographer, it's CNY Live doing an interview like this, Missy, you're emceeing, which is awesome. We're stoked. The bands, different organizations just really donating and coming together. It makes such a huge difference.
We were talking earlier too, we had great t-shirts last year, and again, t-shirts being printed at Print Hub, and looking forward to that because it was actually a really nice t-shirt, and I actually enjoy wearing and having that message, and people ask me about it all the time, and I can talk about the organization. Ashley had shared with me too that they work with all ages, and I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so at Helio Health, I like to say we do everything from interventions to aftercare and all of the good stuff in between. We have detox facilities here in Syracuse, also Rochester and Binghamton, hence our other shows throughout central New York. We have a really comprehensive outpatient program that includes our children's clinic. The children's clinic is one of those programs that just always blows me away. We opened it probably about a year and a half ago, and since then we've just served hundreds of children in our community, which is awesome. But at the same time, it kind of makes me sad thinking about how many children went without services for so long because it wasn't available.
Right.
But yeah, so children of all ages, detox, inpatient, outpatient, we also have a full residential programming. So we know that recovery isn't a one and done kind of thing. It's not something where someone detoxes for a week and then goes to rehab for 28 days and then suddenly you're better, right? Substance abuse, it's progressive chronic disease. It requires ongoing care. We offer that care. We want people to know that it's available because it helps break down that stigma. We don't want people to be afraid to ask for help.
And you have the hotline. Right.
So we have our mobile outreach clinic, which is one of my favorite programs. It's called our Center of Treatment Innovation. Essentially, it's a phone number that you can dial if you are in Onondaga, Oswego, Cayuga, Madison. No, I did that wrong. If you aren't, still glad we're not live. Sometimes I forget that. I'm like, you can just cut all this out. So it is Onondaga, Cayuga, Madison, Oswego, Oneida, and Otsego counties. Otsego always trips me up. But essentially, it's a phone number, and you can call it. We will send out a peer specialist to wherever you are in the 6-county region. That peer specialist starts the engagement process, just kind of talks with you and says, hey, how are you? Cool, you want some help? Awesome, this is what we can do. Then we'll send out a counselor to do that initial assessment and determine what level of care is most appropriate, whether it's going to a detox or an inpatient, or let's just get you connected with some outpatient services. The coolest part is that then we'll transport that individual wherever they need to go, which is really amazing. So we're not just saying, hey, you need help. We're going to say, you need help, we're going to take you there. We're going to get you to where you need to be.
It's really cool.
We try to keep people in their home counties too, so if there's a program that's close by, that's where we're going to send you.
So we have 3 events coming up this year. Last year was just one show in Syracuse. Once in a while, Ashley took on 3. So the first show is in Binghamton on March 15th, and then Rochester on March 22nd, and Syracuse will be right back here at the Palace Theater, March 29th. And do you want to talk about which bands are playing each show?
Sure. So in Binghamton, we are going to be at the Endicott Performing Arts Center. Lavina is headlining that show. We're so excited. They played the show with us last year. They're great. It's been so helpful connecting us with different partners down in the area. Late Earth is coming down to play our Binghamton show as well. And then we have the Natural Born Kissers and Los New Yorkers. In Rochester, we are at ArtisanWorks, which is this really super cool art venue. Worth driving out to Rochester just to check out the space. The Dirty Pennies are headlining that show. Late Earth or Rockstars, you're going to be there for that one too. We appreciate you so much.
They'll be really warmed up by the Syracuse show.
Right? It's going to be a piece of cake for you at that point.
That we'll consider that practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll stick it. It'll help us warm up for the following.
We also have Periodic Table of Elephants playing in Rochester and the Stone Loaves. So, yeah, just really cool bands.
I will be the MC here, which is scary. Not because I'll be in front of people talking, but because it's a very touchy subject. So I'm happy about it, but I'm also very sad that it's such a big topic and it's so many people that I've known personally and in the music world. So
that was one of the things that really blew me away when I first had this idea last year and I started kind of approaching different people about it. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure if people in the music community would be like, oh, we don't want to play for free, or oh, that's, I don't know. I wasn't sure what to expect. But almost everyone that I talked to was so willing to go and hang posters or be a part of the show. And I think it just kind of goes back to what we talked about, is everybody knows somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in general around here, we always have really good luck. I think people coming together for a good cause.
Yeah. We have a lot of the same people in the music community we're always supporting each other, especially when it comes to things like this. I think you get a good turnout.
Yeah, that's nice.
You guys are awesome.
And did you want to talk about maybe a story that you have about somebody who's benefited from the service?
Sure. kind of going back and forth with which story I want to share. I think last year I shared this story about the kid who created the comic frame. Do you remember that? I should probably share a different one. I think I'll share. We'll share Whitney's story. So I met Whitney last summer. She was in our professionals program. Whitney was a nurse. She was probably a little bit older than I am, and she had struggled for a long time with a heroin addiction. You know, for her, it started at a young age. It started with alcohol. She told me this story about one time the first time she drank, she blacked out, had a wicked hangover, and instead of being like, oh, that's terrible, she was like, oh, that was fun, I want to do it again. And that was the first time that she realized that substances made her feel different, and they made her feel good, and she wanted to continue using them. And, you know, as many people do, she ran into a couple of health issues and was prescribed painkillers. It wasn't long beyond that she's kind of transitioned into heroin and really lost everything. Lost her job, lost her house, ended up finding Helio Health here in Syracuse after running into a couple of issues with the criminal justice system. But she was able to finally get help through our professionals program at our outpatient facility, and I love her story because I feel like she's just overcome so much. She went to the professionals program, was able to get her nursing license back. She's working as a nurse now full time. She has her own home. Really has just completely turned her life around, and I think her story is so important because it really shows how far someone can come and how important having that treatment and support is. She talks about how support from her family was really important, how her mom was there for her the whole time, and she remembers asking her mom for help that very first time. Her mom lifted up her sleeves, saw the marks on her arm, and just started crying and held her and said, "You will get through this." And I think that level of support for someone who is going through something so challenging it's crucial. To know that, yes, things are rough right now, but you'll get there. And that's one of the things that I love about the Rock for Recovery too, is that it's such a great reminder that with treatment and support, people can and do recover every single day, and recovery should be celebrated. Right? It's not just those negative stories that we hear in the headlines or in the newspaper. Like, people recover, and that's awesome. And it should give hope to others who might be struggling.
Right, and I think also for a lot of people I've known and for myself, going out around music, playing music, listening to music, art in any form is very helpful anyways, to get through different feelings, to find people to support you, or somewhere you feel like you belong.
Absolutely. We have so we do a lot of art therapy in our outpatient group, especially in the children's clinic, and another one of my favorite stories is about a little boy who was afraid of Batman, and he had a really hard time talking about his emotions and everything that had happened. So his therapist, Brittany, was like, you know what, you're struggling with this fear, why don't we write a comic about a character who overcomes his fears? So this little boy, we'll call him Max, created this comic about a minion who overcame his fears. I'll have to send you the photo of it. Because what started out as just one general comic book exercise turned into several comic book, turned into a full-blown comic book. So it was really cool, and just to see him be able to work through that, and Brittany would ask him, well, why is your minion afraid, and what can he do to overcome that fear, and how could he work with some of the other characters? And through that, he was able to really overcome his fear. He's doing great now.
Right, gave him a tool to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Ashley, where can we all get tickets for the show?
So get tickets at helio.health. That is our website, www.helio.health. There's no .com or .org at the end.
Okay, Helios, HELIO.
Correct. Yes, tickets are $10. Or if you want to buy a full tour pass and come visit us in Rochester and Binghamton as well as Syracuse, $25 for all 3 shows.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Well, get some friends, carpool.
do a thing.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to see everybody that night, and hopefully we get a good crowd here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you. And thank you as well.